What's up, everybody? I'm Josh. This is Tony from TonyMotive in Glenview, Illinois. It's at the break of noon on Tuesday afternoon. Tony, walk us through what we're doing today and why this is a two-man job.
All right, so today we're going to be doing a leak-down test on this 99 Mazda Miata. And a little backstory, the reason why we're doing it is because this car was on a racetrack and the driver did not notice that it started overheating until it was too late. So there was a pretty nasty coolant leak and a lot of the coolant ended up draining out of the car, so it overheated, you know. Anyway, they brought it back here, we fixed the coolant leak, you know, the engine starts and runs without any issues. However, the owner of the car is a little bit concerned about any potential issues, maybe warped cylinder head, you know, whatever might be going on in it. So he asked if we can do a leak down test. So little backstory for the people that don't have any kind of mechanical knowledge. Leak down test is basically a glorified compression test. It's essentially a compression test will give you the numbers, but you will not know where the compression is going at. So for example, you know, cylinder 1 might be at 150 psi, cylinder 2 might be 160, 3 might be at 140. So we got like a 20 psi difference between the three, but we don't know where the problem actually is. So when we go ahead and hook up our leak down tester, that leak down tester will tell us in percentage where not only how bad the cylinders are, but it'll also help us diagnose where that leak is, whether we have burnt intake valves, burnt exhaust valves, burnt piston rings, things of that nature. So yeah,
awesome. I will say we are not going to edit this video. We're just going to get right into it. So you'll see me moving the camera around, and I will just follow your lead. What's the next step?
That's right. That's right. We're doing this live. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing to do is you want to actually grab the camera. Let me show what is actually needed real quick for the job. So we will be using the OTC leak down tester, which essentially it's a just a 2-gauge, you know, tester. And what it shows you is through one hose, the one that is regulated, this compressed air goes through here. And then this gauge will show you the PSI that's being injected. And this gauge here, you'll connect to the cylinder, and this will show you the actual cylinder pressure. So very simple, if you're injecting 100 PSI into the cylinder, but the cylinder is only holding 70 PSI, you have 30% leakage.
Gotcha.
You know, very simple, very straightforward. So essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rotating the engine until each cylinder gets to TDC on the compression stroke. And when it gets there, we're going to be threading in our hoses and our connections, and we're going to be injecting compressed air into it. So I'll be doing that while you, Josh, are holding the engine from spinning over.
All right, that's the two-man aspect.
Yes, because it will try to kick when we connect those hoses. So let's begin.
I guess real quick, we've already removed the spark plugs, making sure to keep an eye on which one goes where. What else do we do to get this thing ready?
So yeah, we've removed plug wire, spark plugs, and the only other thing we did was we removed the intake just so we can gain access at the crank damper, so we can gain access at the very first or the bolt that holds the crank damper in place, so we can rotate the engine.
Nice.
So let's get started. So I got this really nifty device to find top dead center on the compression stroke. You know, a lot of times you have to just put a screwdriver in here and you have to rotate the engine over until it gets to TDC, but you don't know if you're on the compression TDC or if you're on the exhaust stroke TDC. So this is a very simple whistle. It just whistles. Nice. So whenever it sees compression, the little whistle let us know that it's on the compression stroke, and that's when we take it out, and it just makes our life that much easier. So let's go ahead and thread this in. Why am I not? Do I have the wrong adapter? I think I might have the wrong adapter, actually. It's weird, it looks right. 1 second. No, this looks right. I'm just having a hard time getting it started. Are you sure you want to leave this video unedited?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Because this looks like I don't know what I'm doing.
We keep it real.
We do, but I am really having a hard time with this. So let me try. Hold on one second.
This is the perfect chance. I can flip this camera around and just toss this guy into the spotlight. We've got a full engine rebuild happening in this side of the shop. Got Kay over there. What's up? So that one's gonna go back in there.
It's the right adapters, the right thread is the right everything, but I'm just, this hose is a little more like wiggly, so it tends to not want to stay in the middle where the spark plug hole is. That's so weird. Ha! I got it.
There we go.
I found the hole, Josh. Are you proud of me? All right, so there we go. We got our whistle in place. I'm gonna get my 21 millimeter ratchet, and we're just going to rotate this engine clockwise, because this engine normally spins clockwise, unlike some of the older Honda engines, until we hear a whistle. So just rotating, rotating, rotating. Right there.
Nice.
All right, so now we know we are on the compression stroke. So the next thing we need to do, Josh, do you mind passing me a long 1/4 inch extension from there, please? One drawer up. Yeah, the small ones. Just give me the longest one we got. Perfect. And let's see if this, I don't want to drop it in there. Oh, this one's not going to fit. So we need the 1/4 inch one, which would be this one. Actually, you know what? Better yet, let me grab a long screwdriver, because the screwdriver will be easier to see on the camera. All right, here we go. So now I just drop the screwdriver in there, and we're going to continue turning the motor until we get to our top dead center. Right there. That's top dead center.
All right.
So now we're going to switch over to a breaker bar, just because when I connect the air hose to that, I don't know which way the engine will spin. Like, it might spin clockwise, it might spin counterclockwise. It just depends on the angle of the rod, you know?
Okay.
So we switch over to a breaker bar just to make sure we're holding it straight. And we're going to hook up our socket right over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an extension pipe right on this breaker bar, so hopefully Josh's life is a little bit easier holding this.
All right.
So anyway, that's for you, Josh. I'm going to take this out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread on my other hose for the leak down tester. Just like so. See, this one's nice and thick and goes in a lot easier.
Gotcha.
All right, so now we hook up our compression tester, or I'm sorry, leak down tester. I keep calling it a compression tester. Just like that. And all we need to do is hook up our compressed air line here, and we'll know
Put on
the
the old
results.
safety glasses.
All right. Right there. So you brace yourself for impact, and you tell me whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. So let me back this up because we got a little too much pressure. And right there, as you guys can see, we've got 100 psi going in and about 94 psi in there. So this cylinder is perfectly healthy, and we only have about 6 psi of leakage in it. So that's a happy cylinder.
Nice.
Nice. How was holding that on there?
I was proud of myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Give you a nice little kick. And basically, it's the same procedure for the rest of them.
All right.
Shall we keep rolling?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're going to find out live if one of these has an issue.
Yes, we are. Do you mind switching over to the ratchet?
Yeah.
Oh, I got this on the first try. Why couldn't I do this with cylinder 1? There you go. And just rotate around.
Give me that whistle.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe our
going.
whistle hose has
Keep
low
going.
compression.
Keep going, keep going. There we go. See, the whistle doesn't lie.
There it is. There it is.
It doesn't lie. All right, so now I put this on the side. I'm just gonna grab the screwdriver just so we can see where's true TDC. Here we go, just like that.
Same
And
thing.
yep, I'm just gonna move the camera very slightly just so the viewers can see a little bit better. Aha, how about
How
that?
do we feel about that?
That looks good to me.
Keep going, or
Did it stop moving?
felt like, let's see.
Well, if it starts to go down, then you went too far.
Yeah, I like it right there.
All right, well, leave it right there. Let's get all the way in there. Look at that. Get up close and personal.
Nice.
All right, so we're good here. And now the only thing we need to do is thread in our leak down tester hose, and we do it all over again. Are you ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1. All right, so here we see that we have a problem. So we've got 100 psi going into the cylinder, but only about 69, 70 psi is staying into it, which means that we have 30% leakage.
But what if this didn't kick at all?
If that didn't kick at all, that means that you got that piston exactly at TDC.
Ah.
So it's shooting the like all the pressure directly down on the crank, and the crank is perfectly straight up. So if you move that even a hair left or right, it'll kick over right away. So I suggest being very careful with that. So now this is actually a perfect example. So we have about 30% leakage, and what are we going to do now? We have to listen to where this leakage is coming from. So the first thing you do is, I should have done this earlier, but you open the oil cap and you can put your ear right up to the fill hole, so you can listen. Is this where the air is coming from? You know, and in this case, I can actually hear quite a bit of air. Josh, put your ear up to here.
Oh yeah.
You hear that? That's a pretty good, you know,
The mic
flow.
probably picks it up, yeah.
Yeah, and then the next thing we'll do is we'll also put our ear right on the intake, right where the throttle body is. So Josh, put your ear right here. Do you hear anything out of there?
No.
No? Okay, so that tells us that it's not the air that we're injecting, that 30% that we're missing is not going back through the intake. Now, the last thing we do is we're gonna walk over to the back of the car and I'm going to put my ear up to the muffler or the tailpipe section. And if I hear any leakage out of there, that means that we also have exhaust valves that are leaking. So let me just walk back here real quick. And Josh, we got absolutely nothing out of the tailpipe. So,
and as your assistant, I'm always worried. You're sure I did this right? We were at TDC.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
Yep. We can do it again if you don't feel comfortable. You know.
No, I just don't want to.
We can do it again.
I don't want to mislead anybody.
But
I was just ready for the jolt of this bar, and was surprised it didn't.
Yeah. Well.
So if I move this a little bit, I'll feel the kick.
It should kick, but
let's try it.
Let me stop this.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, if you're uncertain, like I said, it's really quick to do it again. You know.
Cool.
So just put the ratchet on there, and let's see. This is the moment of truth, live, everybody.
Is it me or is it the engine?
Did Josh miss top dead center?
So if I missed top dead center, that would leave like a little gap, and that could cause the leak to appear?
Depending how bad you miss top dead center, you know, like if the piston starts going down, you know, then one of the valves might, well, as the piston's going down, you're in the compression stroke. So technically, you know, the valve should stay closed. But if you missed it really bad, like usually the intake valve will start to open.
I'm rooting for this engine that it was my fault. Let's see.
Let's see it. Yep.
All right.
Just rotate all the way around until we get to the next compression stroke. So we're going to give this engine the best possible chance and hope that
we're going to give it a second opinion.
It was just an error. A lot of times, Josh, on there we go, on cylinders that are in fact low on compression, the kick that you expect to feel is a lot lesser, and that's simply because, you know, the compression is significantly lower and it's losing its force.
Gotcha.
You know, so it's punching at 30% less force.
All right, you tell me when you're feeling TDC.
Slow down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. A little more. That's it. That's it. Yeah, it's not moving anywhere. So, yeah, you can kind of catch it right at the perfect TDC when you notice that the screwdriver goes up. And if you keep moving the crank, but the screwdriver does not move anymore, it just stays stationary. That's the perfect, you know, TDC mark.
Get on there.
Are you ready?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
No kick.
And
no kick.
Same exact result. We got 30% leakage out of the cylinder. And again, the no kick might mean that we just got it perfectly at TDC.
That sounds like something we would do.
Yeah, we're pretty perfect. So anyway, I can hear it very, very loud out of the oil fill hole. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll even put my ear up to the neighboring cylinders.
So I'll get my mic right on there.
Because, there you go, you can hear that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so another thing I'll do is, like I started saying, I will put my ear on the neighboring cylinders, because if you have a crack in the head gasket in between the cylinders, a lot of times you will actually hear the air escaping from the neighboring cylinders.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Well, that's all. 30%.
Do we check the other two?
Absolutely. We're going to keep going just so we can give this client a full health report. But cylinder 1, perfect, 6%. Cylinder 2, not so perfect, 30%.
All right.
And the culprit seems to be piston rings.
Yeah, I got to switch this. Let's see, I might as well write down these numbers.
All right. Whistle ready.
That's sort of a 3. Okay.
There we go. That's the compression stroke. And switch over to our screwdriver. And off you go.
Okay. I had it on there and took it off. Come on.
Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. It's still going up, still going up. Keep going. A little more. Right there. That's it. All right. Let's see what cylinder 3 has in store for us.
1 second. Let her rip.
You ready?
Yeah.
Holding both ways?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, false hold. There we go. That was a nice kick, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, this one doesn't look so hot either. We got about the same result here. Dial it into right at 100 psi, and we're looking at 30% again. Now, if you don't mind, Josh, are you okay holding that for a second?
Yeah.
That does not sound very promising. But we have the exact same result. You know, all of it is coming right from the oil fill hole. Do you hear anything out of that intake?
No.
No? All right. You holding that?
Mm-hmm.
Hold it strong. Let me check the exhaust real quick. Nope, absolutely nothing out of the tailpipe.
Give me your second opinion on this intake.
Kind of doubtful. Oh no, there's nothing. Yeah, I'm very doubtful that it has a valve problem. You know, it looks like it's mostly a bottom end ring problem so far.
Gotcha.
So we got
1 more to go. What do we have
one
on
more
that?
to go.
30?
It was also 30. It was right about 30, 32%. You know, it was roughly about the same.
We'll split the difference. We'll say 31.
Fine by me. Okay, hold on a second, because I have another case of I can't get the thread started.
I believe in you.
Aha, I got it. All right, let her spin. Oh, perfect. We're on the compression.
All right.
Sometimes you get lucky like that.
By the 4th cylinder, we got it down.
All right, go for it. I would say right there. That's it.
I would just say word to the wise, put this all the way on. The last one I did, I went about halfway, and Didn't like the way that felt.
No.
All right, ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Look at that. Wow.
Perfect
That's a
TDC.
perfect cylinder.
No kick.
No kick. Well, not only is the TDC location perfect, but that's also a perfect cylinder, Josh. You see that? We only have about 2% leakage. So cylinder 1 and 4 are, I mean, perfect. There is no leakage. There is absolutely nothing to worry about there. But cylinders 2 and 3, we got a problem there.
What makes you think piston rings versus blown head gasket?
That is because I can hear the air escaping from the oil fill hole, which tells me that the air from the tester goes through the rings and it's going into the crankcase and it goes back up. You know? So usually, if we would have a cylinder head gasket failure, we would see the bubbles in the coolant. So the coolant will start to pressurize, and we're going to start to see bubbles escaping from there, which we did not have in this case. And we would also have potential air escaping from neighboring cylinders. So those are the only 2 scenarios that we would have from a head gasket failure.
Good to know. Safe to take this off?
Yeah, you can take it off. We're all done. Okay. So there you have it, folks. We have completed a leak down test on this Miata. And we have to, call our client and let him know what the results are, and it's up to him what he wants to do,
So when
whether
you get,
it's worth it or not.
Sorry to interrupt, when you get a result like that, does that mean it might be headed over to K in that section of the shop?
Potentially. Okay. Potentially. Yeah. So it's one of those things that usually I personally don't like anything more than 20%. Even 20 is too much, especially on like tightly wound engines, like some, German, cars. Anything even over 10% on some German engines, they start to drop power. Like we put the car in the dyno and you can see the car's off, 15, 20 horsepower from target. And a lot of cars that are being raced, that's a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker, like you're classed at a certain class and you're supposed to have X amount of weight and X amount of power. And if you're 10 to 15, 20 horsepower down, that's no good. That's no good. So, that's when, the serious people or the more serious racers would say, we got to rebuild it, we got to rebuild it. So, we'll see what this client says, but he's definitely missing on a few ponies from this. That's for sure.
Gotcha. And this applies to non-race car drivers as well.
That is correct. Yeah, this is, 100% needed in any healthy engine operation. I was just referring to, I was just trying to tie it into how this would affect power. You could really see it on the dyno when you put the car in the dyno. Yeah. It's very obvious.
And for all you, daily drivers out there, this was the first test we did on my 2005 Toyota RAV4. So, yes, it applies to all
absolutely everything.
Engines.
Yep. That's how we know if the engine's healthy. And you got lucky, my friend, because your engine was absolutely pristine,
Indeed.
So.
Awesome. All right,
there we have it.
Thanks for walking me through this, and hopefully it helps you guys out there. And till next time.
Till next time.
All right.